Hello, everybody. It's Kane. Um, Happy Thursday night. Like I said, I'd be doing this weekly on the podcast about particular interest of topics. Um, well, first, I wanted to say I figured out my name for the channel. It's the Aryan Corporation. Um, Hopefully one day I can figure out my own business plan. Um, my ultimate goal is to open up my own financial institution, particularly a bank that helps with people who need loans and products and services that tailor to their needs. Um, so yeah, that's a little bit of my goal. I'll go more in depth about that in another video, but um, I guess what I wanted to talk about today is um, people in general and acquaintances and friends or so-called friends, um, with my experiences with them throughout from elementary school to middle school, high school, and even my college career. Um, Eventually, I dropped out of college because um, I find myself more intelligent than the Rockefeller education system. So, where do I start is the thing. So, I guess the first thing I wanted to start off is social interactions with friends that I've had in the past, and kind of what their intentions were. Throughout high school, I've hung out with friends who used me in a variety of ways, like for their gains personally. Um, and I can name a countless number of things, but the main one was for my finances. I've had a lot in savings throughout high school, and um, mention about my savings that I've had to friends, and they're always like, "Oh, well, if you have so much money, why don't you buy me lunch or buy me dinner and oh, can you pay for my gas money?" When, I have a car myself and they're just snacking off my finances. That's To me that's like an abuse of power to that's like the worst thing you can ask somebody is um, free stuff and money, because that's hard work, and I never really relied on parents to give me any form of income. I've always worked since high school, um, as much as I could, and even after high school, I've worked full time, 40 hours. I've worked in management for about 3 years, 3 to 4 years, um, restaurant management, and eventually I got out of that field because of the fact that people just view you so differently when you're you're trying to figure out what your passion is, and it's just a placeholder to make some income because obviously college is expensive, as well as um, the curriculums don't make any sense in terms of, oh, why don't we test your knowledge based off an exam that is based off 25% luck on each question. um, you could be the most intelligent person and still fail an exam. Because I do have quite a high IQ. I've taken a test and it's well over 100 plus. Um, but I guess back to what I was saying is just friends had used me for finances as well as um, this is another one. This is also after high school. I've had somebody who I've known since middle school. We finally reconnected again, and he it's very interesting. He knows the things that I've always wanted to participate in and obtain, um, like women and joining a Freemasonry fraternity. Somehow he's in that as well as um, obtaining women that I've always found attractive. Like he'll hang out with 3 to 4 different women once a night all together, and I'm like, hey, as a gentleman who's single for 8 years, why don't you set up like a double date? Bring one of her friends with her and invite me. And what I've been told was, no, and this is quote unquote what he told me. No, I'm not gonna connect you with women, but you know what I'll do? I'll connect you with successful men. um, I don't know if that's like I don't know if that's to make fun of me or um if he thinks I'm like a homosexual or something. But it's kind of frustrating that he sends me pictures of these chats he's talking to with women and getting like 200 plus likes on Tinder, or matches, I guess you call it, and showing it to me, and it's like, and he's telling me, Kane, it's because you're not physically attractive. You don't make millions of dollars. It's like, yeah, okay. First off, as a friend, you should never belittle your brother, pretty much, because that's what friendship's about, especially male friendship. You should be cheering him up and not necessarily making him feel like a piece of crap. Um, and he does it all the time, and it's gotten so toxic that I mentioned this to my therapist, and they've told me that I need to cut him out of my life, and eventually we both cut each other out. Um, I've also had another friend who did kind of the same thing. There was this girl in high school who I went to college with too. She was in my class. Um, Extremely beautiful, blonde. She she talked to me in school and in her classes, and was flirty, and I was trying to get with her one day. I noticed she was single, and I'm like, oh well, it's my chance to shine, as a male, and give what I have to offer, which is um, loyalty, confidence in a relationship, as well as um, taking initiative to be serious about it, because I've always been serious about my relationships. Um, but this friend, he knows that I'm talking to this woman and starts hitting on her too. And the messed up part was I messaged her first on social media, and then she decides um, to message my friend back first, who isn't even as physically attractive as I am, or even nice or has good intentions for her. That I don't know. It's almost like having friends is like a curse in a way because they they're like, I don't know if you heard of the term warlock. They're energy drainers, I guess you could say. They want to make you feel down as much as possible, that you're not worthy of great things in this universe, and it's like a trap. It's like a spell, or you know, a curse, which to speak. And I've ran into a lot of those kind of people and friends, and um, I could go on about this topic, but it's like I could never do that to a friend who I would know is single for a long time. Obviously, if I've gotten 3 to 4 women a night that I talk with at a social event, and I know he's been single for a very long time, I would actually wouldn't mind letting one of the girls get to know my buddy, um, and make his life enjoyable and happy and have an experience to have a chance in a relationship. But the thing is about men friendship is it's a jealousy thing, and I've studied this in psychology. Um, Jealousy is the thief of joy. Um, and there's a lot of people that are like that, that they get jealous over um, people. It's very interesting. I mean, I even do it myself, but it's more because I'm alone. I'm sad, depressed, trying to figure out life, and I see these couples, and I'm like, wow, why can't I have that? It's very intriguing and upsetting that you're a male who is setting goals for his career, who not only has to offer um, not only has to offer you know being nice to somebody, but also give insight and intelligence that people haven't heard of before. And it's just like, I don't know, but kind of going off topic. Yeah, like again, I didn't, I didn't plan this. Just doing it again tonight because, lost in my thoughts. Thought I should express what I'm feeling, and um, yeah, I watch a lot of these other guys or men who deal with the same thing as I do, and they do the same thing as I do. They work out, they work on their career, they focus on themselves, they go on to social events. Also, on the side, what they're doing is journaling, meditating, reading books, understanding more of psychology in a sense of the mind of a female and the mind of a male, and how friendships work and how relationships work. And then they get this idea of, oh, well, I'm gonna start a podcast kind of thing going on, or self journaling, I guess you should call it. And And I get a lot of insight from them because I can relate to what they go through too. Um, the double standard in women that, oh, he can't be a misogynist, he can't be so ignorant, he can't be critical of the woman because then that makes him like an Andrew Tate or um, a misogynist, sexist, um, whatever you want to call it these days. I don't know. But anyways, I relate to them. I'm trying to do this, and hopefully I get a good amount of views and people can relate to me. The next topic I want to talk about, well, it's in to the same topic I was talking about, not friends, but now this time it's um, people. People, yeah. I don't know any other word to describe it, but um, I guess I guess strangers or um, just normal interactions you have, whether that be at a bar, at a club, at a coffee shop, at the grocery store, or even at work. Granted, though, at work I try not to talk about any of this because I put on a fake persona, so to speak, that, oh, I'm so happy and I got all my stuff together when in reality I don't, and a lot of men other don't. And I'm still trying to figure out my whole life. Um, but, yeah. Hang on, let me get a sip of this cherry Coca Cola real quick. It's good. But, man, I've been going on for 17 minutes now. um, but yeah, people, back to what I was saying. I've been hearing people talk about, like, oh, you just need to worry about yourself and not worry about what other people have or has achieved or uh, whatever you want to call it these days. They're like, well, just when the time's right, the woman will come. And you know how many times I've been told that for 8 years, 8 consecutive years, still with no relationship as a high valued male who knows what he wants. I've been told that probably 500 times with interactions I've had every day about the same topic and the same advice from people, with new people, with the same people, with, it's just like, yeah. Granted, though, I've talked to a few individuals that do tell me, like, it's not you. At the end of the day, it isn't you that's the problem. It's society. Because society has such a twisted mind, it's it's almost like Satan rules the fucking earth. Excuse my French there, but it's true. How many times have you seen that people are doing good in this world, or I don't even like using that word, universe. That's a more intelligent term because it's more than just a planet. or a globe, whatever you want to call it. Is the Earth flat? I don't know. Just kidding. It's not flat. I don't know. Not saying I'm a flat earther, but anyways, that's off topic. Um, you'd be surprised on how much the government keeps secrets from us, but that's another topic we'll go over. Um, our lovely U.S. government. Where was I? Something about. Oh, it's not you, it's culture, right? So, look back in the 60s, or the 40s, or the 50s. You ever notice people were hooking up, um, sinning, doing lots of drugs? Granted, people drink, but that's not as a big of a deal than doing like cocaine or whatever you want to call it. Whatever drugs are out these days, like horse tranquilizers, and it's like Jesus Christ. Anyhow, you didn't see that back in the day. In fact, if you were caught hooking up with people, okay, this was maybe not back in the 60s or 50s, but this was definitely back in the Mesopotamian times, or um, back in medieval days. If you were caught like hooking up with just a random person, or cheating on your wife, there's actually no men actually got out of the punishment, which um, I don't really agree with. Granted, though, I don't agree with what the medievals did, and even to this day, Middle Eastern cultures do this. Like, say if the woman was cheating on his wife, and the whole town found out, they would like dig a hole and put her in there and start chucking rocks at her. Yeah, no, that's fucked up. Granted, is cheating right? No, but chucking rocks at people and killing them is obviously pretty fucked up too. But excuse my French there again. But anyways, um, you didn't see that back in the cultures back in the day, because people would be worried to be judged, and sadly, democracy, the Democrats, had changed the perspective on marriage, dating, um, social norms, um, sexuality too. Like back in the day, it's crazy to me. You go see a like. I guess now people are like, oh, like I'm a homosexual, and it's like, cool. I mean, I didn't need to know that. Um, yes, I meant, sorry, I lost track. But what I meant is people these days are like, oh, I'm gonna tell you all about my sexuality and disclose it to everybody. I'm gonna these people be wearing like a whole rainbow on their like a rainbow cape, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ. I mean, we didn't need to know the news flash, but I mean, if you like the same sex that you are, I mean, that's totally up to you. But back at my point being is, back in the day, nobody, I mean, no one would be like, oh yeah, I like I like Fruity Pebbles and um, um, getting a rainbow tattooed on my ass. Yeah, you wanna see my ass? It's got a rainbow tattoo on there. I mean, nobody does that. But that's pretty much how 2025 is these days. But anyways, and I don't know, it's just wild to me. Um, but back to what I was saying, that the culture has changed so much that the hookup culture is just it's nonstop. It's getting with the next person right away and doing crazy stuff like that people back in the day wouldn't even do because it's like they were so worried about being stoned to death or torched or whatever the consequences were back in the day. But anyhow, and it all stems from the Vatican Church. They were the ones who uh, infiltrated and structured society how it is today. They're the ones who wrote um, the scriptures and say, oh, God loves everybody, regardless what you do. Oh, you could murder somebody and it'd be okay. Oh, Jesus Christ, what kind of world are we in? Universe. I'm just like scratching my head. I'm like, people, man. That's why I'm just like culture right now is so messed up, and also not only that, but um, our history has been lied to too as well. Um, Countless things. I, that'll go. I'll go into that into another topic. Um, but even our history has been lied to. Like the United States is the greatest country in the world. Okay, I'm only using that term because obviously we're in the world. My this is gonna be a longer podcast, by the way. So, um, but yeah, I mean, even if you look into history and try to find the truth online on things, it's not gonna mention anything. Like you have to dig deep into the rabbit hole of things. Um, and it all stems from the Rockefellers who established the United States educational system. Um, and the reason being the Rockefellers implemented that is to destroy society. They didn't want a nation of thinkers, of inventors. What they wanted was a nation of people who work for them, who are enslaved through education and work, life included, where you don't even have a time to even get to know yourself and actually gain this kind of form of intelligence that they don't want you to know about, which is the laws of manifestation, and how you have the power to control all your thoughts and manifest anything you wanted. We had been born into a trust fund. We all as an individual have a trust fund and we don't even know it because it's what the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers did not want you to know. And if you look at the birth certificate, it'll say a bank note on there. It's a bank note. You're a stock. you're an investment. That's why they want to keep you alive as long as possible. That's why they have the medical system. That's why even the Rockefellers invented the medical system. It's not to make you healthy. It's to keep you sick, but poison you slowly. Um, and you should do some research on the petroleum used with medications that the Rockefellers have implemented um, within the medical system. Now, granted, though, there are good parts of the medical system. Um, Granted, though, it's still Rockefeller. Um, it's like medieval ages over again. The surgeries they do or procedures, it's like satanic. And if you don't believe me, you can go look on the internet and find a colonoscopy procedure, and you tell me that's humane. It's basically being fucking raped. Um, Not only that, but like if you look at the hip, like hip, I don't know the medical term for it's when these hip doctors like or surgeons like you watch a video and they're like banging this hammer on. It's crazy. Anyways, um, a little off. I should go more about this in depth with another video. Um, but I wanted to get back to where I was talking about, which is, yeah, it's the culture. And, with women, they used to never be like that. Like, back in the day, hang on. Back in the day, it used to never be, oh, he's got to have, like, they never thought of this. Oh, he's got to have $1 billion. He's got to have a yacht, Lamborghini, or Bentley, whatever. Um, he's got to own his own business. Oh, he has to be social media famous. If he isn't, I don't want to date him. Like, women weren't like that back in the day, and now it's a whole another game. Now they want athletes. They got to be 7 foot tall. It's just the standards is it's not even realistic. It's like they're like in a Disney movie, like Cinderella, or some crazy stuff like that. Um, I've been going off for 33 minutes now. What else? Oh, so what else should I talk about? I feel like I should save some more topics for my next videos because I want these to be interesting. Um, and that's kind of the point of a podcast is it's just you speak on what's your mind and excuse me. It's not really like organized. I'll try to work on that, but pausing for a moment because I'm trying to think of what else to talk about. That's just on my mind. Um, Hmm. Well, I guess just to follow up on, people can be interesting, in terms of advice, and take things with a grain of salt. Don't like soak everything that you hear from every single person if it doesn't align with you, because I mean, obviously you're gonna have your own opinion on things, and um, I've been told back with people like, "Oh, have you tried lowering your standards with women?" And I'm just like, "No, that why would I? I'm a fit male who's got a lot going for himself and works out 5 times a week, does powerlifting professionally, like, and is actually a good looking dude who, knows he's capable of these fine women." Um, that's just, I never understood that concept. Obviously, you would know if there's a woman that's out of your league. Like, obviously, Jennifer Aniston, okay, she's beautiful, but again, like, she's a celebrity, attractive, has a lot of money. That's out of my league. But when it's like women in college that are like extremely beautiful, but obviously aren't established, it's like, okay, I mean, that's definitely not out of my league. Like, out of my league is like celebrities. Um, so I never understood that concept to me. And gentlemen, never lower your standards. Um, stand your ground. Don't let people walk over you. Um, um, whether you're in a relationship or not, um, you know, call people out. That's one thing about me. When I disagree with somebody, I will give my open opinion on things and prove people wrong. Might not be backed by science, but because obviously I'm not a Democrat, but um, I don't even like to label myself as a Republican or a Democrat, but I mean, both sides of my family, one's Democratic, one's Republican. It's like, I don't know. So, yeah, let me know in the comments what I should talk about for my next um, discussion on things. And um, yeah, I don't know. I actually enjoyed this one. I feel more relaxed, a little tense, but um, just need to get my mind off things. And yeah, um, still trying to figure out like why I talk to women but they don't proceed to text me back. Still trying to figure that one out. If you guys have any advice on that, that'd be great. Just all I know is it isn't me at the end of the day. And um, most, here's a fun fact: most people don't even like themselves. Granted, though, I love myself. I think I am the most attractive man on Earth or in the universe. Um, the most intelligent, um, in his own ways, of course. Not with an ego thing or sociopath, psychopathic. viewpoint, but um, yeah. And when I try to talk to people about these things, they almost get upset. That's what I've realized with people, or just they just don't care. And the thing is, with so a little backstory about me. I do have Asperger's, which is on the spectrum of autism. But that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means I'm very particular with topics of interest of topics. Um, I could go on about for hours, um, all relating to the same concept, and people can't get a grasp of understanding that. And are like, why is this guy talking about, like, how does it go from this to this when it's like all correlates to the same thing I'm talking about. I don't know, maybe it's just the way I'm structured. Um, but yeah, that's one thing I've noticed about neurotypical people is they tend to be ignorant and not have any open mindfulness. That's the word. In terms of getting another perspective and be like, oh, well, maybe this gentleman is right about some things. Maybe I should be like, yeah, I agree with him, But there's a lot of those people that are like, yeah, I don't know about this cat. It's just wild to me. But anyways, I think I'm gonna wrap up the video. Um, just kind of wanted to freely speak out my thoughts on today and kind of what's been on my mind over at work and outside of work at the gym. Um, and I'll go more about kind of what I was thinking today, but I don't want the video to be too long and then nobody watch it. So um, just add a little spark of interest if you understand what I mean. But I'm really enjoying doing this podcasting thing. I feel like it's good for myself, and for other people too. Um, by all means, I am not a misogynist, um, or extremist, or whatever you want to call it these days. Anti whatever. I hope you enjoy the video and learn something from it, and you have a good rest of your Thursday, or day, whatever day you're watching this, and just know that God sent me here to inform you on these things. And this isn't crazy talk, but this is just a channeling through Him, um, to give you something to relate to, something you may not have known about or can relate to of some sort. So feel free to like the video, comment, um, subscribe if you even want to continue watching content like this. Um, Eventually I'd like to podcast with other people on, like, Microsoft Teams or whatever. Um, Let me know and we can figure something out. But um, you folks have a good rest of your day, and this is the Aryan Corporation signing out. Have a good one. Thank you.